Hello you and welcome to episode 2 of Clearside Valley. We've got a lot to build right here on this coaster, but before that, there has actually been some changes to the park between episodes right here, so let's quickly look at those. First off here, you can see I've actually done a bit of planning around this area right here. We've actually got some paths around here. I've also planned out some of these buildings around here, just gotten a bit of an idea of that. And I've done some stuff with the terrain here just to get ready for what we're going to be doing in today's video. Because today we're going to be placing a lot of rocks. And by a lot of rocks, I mean a lot. A lot of rocks. But before we do become Benji's adventures for this video, I've also been working on this tunnel right here, which as you can see is still a little bit unfinished, but I'm just going to work on that off camera. And finally, one of the coolest things right here actually is that we now have this member brick plaza. So basically how this works right here, guys, is if you become a member, which by the way, you can do for as little as 99 cents or 99p a month down below. Click that join button, guys. Click the join button. And if you are a member or you become a member, well, you'll actually get to go on these bricks right here in this plaza. So you'll actually get your name in Clearside Valley. And you can get a gold, silver, or bronze one depending on what level you are. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything that I've done between episodes right here. And today, like I said, we're going to be placing a ton of rocks right here. And also just shaping these paths. As you can see right now, they're quite, very. So first off here, I think we actually probably should fix that, shouldn't we? So let's start off by actually just covering all of this plaza. There we go. Now we need to actually curve this bit right here, which we're going to do using the circle tool, which is actually, I think, a tool that a lot of people don't know about in Theme Park Tycoon 2. But all you need to do to actually use the circle tool right here is just place down one block like so, and then place another block where you want to rotate around. So let's say maybe there. And then we just go into precision build mode and hold shift and the middle mouse button right here, and you can actually just rotate it around this point, which as you can see is going to be super helpful for what we actually need it for right here. So I'm just going to bring this all the way around like so. And then we need to add another snapping point, which I'm just going to put over there. And then let's see, does that work? Ooh, no, that's actually still too much. Well, this is going to be some fun trial and error, guys. So let me try and work this out, and I'll see you guys in a second.
One eternity later.
And there we go. Actually, we can probably remove that piece right there, and that lines up very nicely. So let's actually delete just this planning underneath because we no longer need any of that. And then we're actually just going to lower all this back down to the height it can actually be now. And then we just need to fill in all these gaps, which I'm just going to do with these triangles, so not too hard. Okay, and there we go. Let's just get them painted, and they are, Okay. Well, I've fixed that. I don't know what that was about, but there we go, guys. We now actually have our first bit of pathing, which, if you ask me, looks pretty damn good. And you know what, guys? I know you haven't come here just to see me do paths, so let's actually get on with some rocks now. Okay, so first of all, something that I actually want to do before we add any rocks in right here is actually just add some wedges in as just kind of like a basis, because if we just start doing rocks straight away, it's not going to look great, I don't think. For now, we will do some grass, but I might actually change this to rock. I don't know which one will work better. And now, yes, guys, you already know what's going to happen. I need to now just copy this all around. Yay, see you in a minute.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, and nice. We've actually got all of that edging in right there. Oh, no, I just said edging. No, guys, don't clip that, please. All right, but now it is actually time to get some rocks in. So let's have a look over here. As you can see, these are some rocks that were actually built by Hazthemcman for another plot, which I'm not going to say because it's a secret. I do also definitely need to size these down right here, but let's actually just get them in right here. Actually, just next to where we're building, so we don't have to keep on going backwards and forwards. And you can see they're quite big. But you know what? It's fine. Let's just start. I'm definitely not stressed about starting at all, guys. Okay, let's just make this a little bit smaller like so. And we'll rotate it round. And then... There we go, guys. We're one rock in. Only 9 million more to go. As I go along right here, I am going to be deleting some of these inside parts, which I know we don't really need. I don't think so, at least. And now, guys, oh no. Okay, well, let's start again. The first rock has been deleted. But anyway, guys, I've got many rocks ahead of me, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so exciting, guys. Yay, rocks! So I think while I actually get all of these in right here, instead of just watching me, you know, place one rock at a time, we actually do a little bit of a time lapse. So there's nothing else to say except from, I guess, take it away, voiceover Josh. Well, thank you very much, live action Josh, you massive smelly nerd. So if it wasn't already obvious, we have a lot of rocks to get placed in. So I begin by placing a top layer of rocks all the way along the path, continuing around this curve. From there, I continued filling up this bank with tons more rocks below until I ran into a small issue. Oh, how I hate this stupid item limit. As much as it's definitely annoying, I can remove some of those primitives you can't see and fill in any gaps with in-game rocks like I'm doing here. Next up, though, it's time to address this log flume drop. I haven't spoke about this much yet, as this is a project for another time, but I start getting some rocks just around here. This is before hitting the item limit again. This is what true pain feels like. Anyways, with that fixed, it's on to more rocks with an extra dose of more damn rocks. After hitting too many items about 400 more times though, these rocks are all now in. Now this is where I was supposed to go back to live action while designing this fence that would surround the ride, but somebody forgot to record his microphone. What is bro yapping about? We can't hear you, buddy. The play-by-play though is that I created 3 different designs that you can see right here, which of course ended up with me choosing this fence design. And now it's actually time to place that fence all around these rocks we just added in. You may notice the YouTube chat on the left of the screen there, which was definitely something I did on purpose to promote that I stream, and definitely not an accident at all. As I do placing these fences though, I am just going to shamelessly say that I will be live tomorrow, the day after this video comes out on YouTube, building more rocks. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Anyway, that's all of those fences in there now, so I'm moving to the opposite side of the station next to this air race ride. You already know the drill. We have many rocks to place in. By the way, this is around 2 hours of work already on just these rocks and fences. This stuff takes time. With those rocks in though, I'm also just getting in all the fencing along here, just like on the other side. I did just want to point out the fact that I'm also filling in a lot of these gaps between the fences and the rocks too, just for some extra realism. It's simple, but definitely important. But anyway though, with that, let's go back to me in the past. Alright, and there we go. 2 hours later, I have gotten a lot more rocks and a lot more fences in. And yes, that did actually take 2 hours, which totally was not painful at all. But just a little recap of what we've done right here. We've actually got all of these fences in all the way along here now. And as you can see, I've even filled in all the gaps underneath as well by adding these kind of extra bits in with some bars around it to actually conform to the rocks. And then I've also made a start on the rocks over here. As you can see, we've still got a lot more to do, especially with this air race ride right here. So yeah, quite a lot of progress has been made, but we still have a ton more rocks to do. But before we do that, we actually have this massive plaza, as you can see right here. All of this is just concrete right now, and it doesn't look great. Now, as you guys can see, I've brought in these bricks here from another plot. So we're going to use these colors right here, but then more in this sort of shape where it's kind of like a zigzag. Okay, so we're just going to grab this brick right here and bring it over. And then I think if I'm right, we can just move these over on a quarter grid, which is very nice. There you go. That is basically the actual basis of this zigzag design, I think. So there we go. There's one full zigzag done. And now if I've actually done this right, we can actually just copy this. I'm not gonna lie, that is satisfying as hell that I could just drag these along like this. Oh, that is very satisfying, isn't it, guys? But let me just line it up with the height of these bricks. And just before we do commit to building all of these at once, what do we think? Maybe I do actually add a little bit more coloring, because you can see with these rocks, it's gonna start to feel very grey. Oh, and also too many items here. I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, no, let's actually just delete these. And I'm just gonna add a bit more color to this right here, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've decided to go for something just completely different here, just to give this a try. Okay, what do we think? I actually quite like that, I think. Maybe we are overthinking this. It's just a path. Joshua, yeah, that's a good point, actually. So now we just need to actually get this pretty much everywhere, which is not very exciting. So, you know what that means, guys? It's time for the third time lapse of this episode. Well, take it away, voiceover Josh. All right, first things first, I'm deciding where the bricks will transition from old to new with these long dividing bricks. So that I don't go insane, I'm opting to make it seem like there is a gap with this primitive here instead of actually making a gap. Just, don't tell anyone, okay? And now for the fun part, adding in the rest of these bricks. It's made even more fun by the item limit, which I'm constantly hitting thanks to these rocks being so parts heavy. It means I'll be turning into a mole person for the rest of this time lapse, constantly having to dig down and remove any rocks wherever I can. Before I go insane doing this though, let's take a small break just to fill in these old bricks from the other side of the divider. Whilst I do that, Benji's Adventures has joined the game and he's making something very green in my car park. I guess you'll just have to keep on watching to see what it is though. Anyways, after getting slightly distracted, it's back to bricks. How exciting. After placing another billion bricks in, I'm placing some planters around this plaza to make it less concrete heavy. Although, I'll be getting these mostly finished up in the next episode where we're going to be focusing more on the main street. Alright, I'm going to spare you the pain of watching me hit the item limit for another 30 minutes whilst placing in bricks, so with that, let's get doing something a little bit more fun. Back to you, past me. Well, hello there, guys. It has been a couple days since that last clip right there, and in those last couple days, I've actually been to the cinema. Now, why is this relevant? Why is me going to the cinema very relevant, Josh? And that's because actually, I recently watched the Twisters movie that just came out in cinemas as of recording this, so I've been thinking over these last couple days and thought, well, actually, it would kind of make sense to make this ride IP-based, and all that's to basically say that I want to kind of loosely base it off of that movie right here. It's not going to be exact, but I kind of like some of the visuals and some of the ideas in that film. Like, for example, the actual storm chasing cars, they're definitely going to be built somewhere in here. That's if I can actually, you know, work out how to build cars on it. But seeing as this video is probably already long enough, I'm guessing, the last thing I want to do right here is actually work on this station building. And for that, I want to build like an old-timey barn. Kind of like these ones that are popping up on the screen right now. Seeing as a barn like this is featured in the film, and I think it would work really well. But okay, let's actually get started. The first thing I'm going to do is remove this catwalk. walk. And I'm actually going to extend this platform a little bit longer, because I'm actually going to have the building come up to probably about here. Because like I said, there's not really much room here, so I'm kind of having to make the most of every bit of room I do have. And then on this left side here as well, I do just want to make this slightly bigger, maybe just a half bigger. Oh, you know what, guys? We're going to make it a full one bigger actually here. Okay, so this is the basis. And then what I want to do right here is actually build this with some bricks down to this bottom part. So for now, I'm just going to paint that bricks, although keep in mind we are, of course, going to do some actual custom bricks that look a little bit better. But for now, I do just want to get planning right here, seeing because this is quite a big project we're undertaking. And let's just fill in this gap in the middle like so. And there we go, guys. I think this is a pretty solid foundation. Well, actually, quite literally. But Tish, get it, guys? Other than the actual gaping hole here, but we're not talking about it. Shush. And then I think we're actually just going to continue on by doing a little bit more planning here before we do actually start properly building. So I'm going to bring this wall over here, bring that up to maybe about there. Of course, we'll copy that onto the other side. And then, of course, we should probably add some walls in here too. I think that would sort of make sense, you know, yeah? And now one thing I am trying to keep in mind right here as well is that I don't want to interrupt this kind of weird inversion that doesn't really have a name. But I guess if we actually want to work that out, we should probably look at the roof. And I suppose that would look a little bit like this, but as you can see, that's blocking the inversion. No. Okay, let me think this through, guys. Okay, and here we go. I've kind of come up with a bit of a shape and a bit of an idea right here for this bar. I hope you guys like it. As you can see, it's quite big, and that's what I was saying by there's quite a lot of work. This is definitely not a small project, this build. And that's especially because, well, obviously, this right here, I've basically built out the shape of the building, and that took quite a while, but that was actually the really easy part, guys. Because now it's time to actually make this detailed, because right now, this is literally just some basic primitives, and you know me already. You've seen my previous buildings right here. You know this is not good enough for me. So, well, I guess we get started right here with actually turning this into a really good detailed bar. And because there just genuinely is so much to do right here, I reckon we jump into a quick time lapse. And here we are for our third and final time lapse of this episode. I'm starting out by replacing these bricks at the bottom with some custom bricks across this front corner of the station as planned. Next, I'm making them all look a little bit more worn and rough by painting them different colors and textures, followed by lowering them all down as I felt this base was a little too tall. Carrying on with the theme of bricks, I'm continuing them around the entire front of this station and getting them all nicely painted. Let's take a break from bricks though and design what the wall panels of this station are going to look like. I wasn't sure whether to go for the traditional red wooden panels or more of a really abandoned warm barn, but I finally ended up with this design right here, painted with different varieties of red. Now though, let's get those walls in along the front of this station in combination with these corner pieces inspired by how a lot of these real barns are built. You may notice this wall design uses a ton of items, which definitely won't come back to bite me soon. I felt it lacked a bit of depth, however, so I decided to add a darker red primitive sandwiched between the gaps in these wooden panels. This building isn't just one wall though, so it's time to get another wall in on the left with a gap for a future window. With a stupid amount of time already spent on the walls, I'm going up to the roof to finally adjust the shaping a little, then accompanied with a bit more work on the walls to fill in this gap at the front. Next, I needed to decide on what the roof would look like, which wasn't as easy as I expected. I wanted this to have a rusted look like you can see in this photo right here, but that's not really possible in Theme Park Tycoon 2. After a lot of experimenting though, I've decided to go with just this clean metal, and you'll see a little later how I managed to make this rusted. Alright, now we've got some roofing in. I'm working out how these roof dormers will look. This first means adding in some walls, followed by a fairly simple but nice looking window designed to let some light into this station. Finally, I'm capping this off right here by fixing the shaping of the roof and adding the bumps onto it, in addition to making this window a tiny bit smaller. We have more than one dormer though, so I'm copying that over to the left and then finally getting this side of the roof all done with the bumps going all the way across. As an extra nice touch, I'm just going through and adding some wood to the underneath of these roofs too. Alright, so I'm sick to death of looking at this roof, so it's back to the front where I'm building this open barn door where the coaster train enters back into the station through your classic rickety barn doors flung open by the storm. I also felt that adding some windows to either side of this door would be pretty nice instead of just having these big empty walls which felt really quite blank. And then to finish up this front wall, I'm building a hatch door above this barn door below, as I noticed something like this on a lot of real American barns. And then of course I'm just extending up these walls and filling in all the gaps to get this all nice and finished. It's a very, very small touch, but I'm also just making the planks on these doors a little more random. I'm moving this hatch door off of its hinges to add to that rickety old look I'm going for. Next up, I'm getting this wall filled in on the left of the station between these two roofs, which now gives us a pretty finished look at this station building from this side so far. And well, before we carry on building, let's actually take a look at what we've done so far. This station has so far taken around 3 to 4 hours to design, plan, and build up to this point. And trust me, we still have a lot more to do. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking so far though, so let's continue. Okay, so first up, I've added some rust to the roof using some decals, which I definitely remembered to record, and that's why you're looking at cinematics. Don't worry about it too much, okay? Don't think about it. I'm also going through and making some of these bricks a little bit more random, so this looks just a little bit more run down. Now we've got the front done though, I'm moving around to the back where first I'm sorting out these stairs a little bit and adding an absolute metric ton of bricks all the way around to the back of the station. Of course, this includes painting them all up and randomly adding some textures onto some bricks too. Next, I'm going to copy over the roof from the other side of the station and fill that up with the bump pattern I've been using on the other side. Of course, that is accompanied by 2 more dormers to fill in these gaps, which are exactly the same as the other 2. Moving back to the walls, I decided to do something a little bit more interesting for where this queue goes into the station, station by making it appear like a massive hole has been ripped out from the side of this building. I plan to do this in smaller ways around the rest of the station too, but for now, you get the idea. And now to film the rest of this wall, we're quickly going to add 2 more windows in and fill up this entire wall with roof panels like so. Sorry this is moving so fast, but honestly, I think you're probably sick of walls by now. Now you actually get to see sort of how I've created this rust effect across the roof, as I mentioned earlier, with some clever use of decals. I really wish I could have added some more, but unfortunately, the item limit was not having any of it. But with all that rust now on the roof, the very final thing to do is copy this front wall to the back of the station, which I'm going to spare you having to watch, as you've already seen all of this. So with that, take it away, live action, Josh. And here we go, 6 hours and a haircut later, look at what we've built. Oh, well, what I've built. But yes, this here really did take 6 hours. This has not been a small amount of building, and a lot of that did go very quickly, so that this video isn't like 10 hours long. But let's actually just quickly check out what we've built. So as you can see right here, I've not finished everything, including these little structures on top, and this side building here as well, that needs finishing. But I'm either going to get these done in a future video, or I'm going to get these done on stream, because this video already has had 10 hours of building and footage recorded on it. Probably actually way more than that, including all the planning and stuff that you don't even see on camera. Something that I didn't really point out that much is that I've also added these glass in right here with like the shattered sort of broken glass. We've also got these doors right here though as well, which I think turned out really nicely. Like, honestly, I am so proud of how this looks. And just to show you guys the rust as well, I really like how this turned out. But yeah, the bricks also look really nice. I mean, every part of this I'm really happy with. But now we do have one more thing that I teased a little bit earlier, because Benjamin van Valen, Benji's Adventures himself, has been in my park, and he's been building some stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, oh my god, it's so fire. And here we go, guys. This is what Benny has built right here. As you can see, this is, well, Benny's actual real green Audi TT. He has this car in real life. I have been in it. It is, I mean, it's a really sick car, to be honest. Don't know why he painted it bright green though, but it's now forever immortalized in Clearside Valley. And you can immortalize Benny's TT in your own park, because as you can see, Benny has made a lovely blueprint version of this right here in collaboration with me. This is up on the Theme Park Tycoon 2 workshop right now as this video comes out. That link is down below in the description if you'd like to use this very beautiful car. You know, you can always recolor it, I guess. But anyway, guys, there is just one more thing I want to talk about before we end off right here. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for how much, you know, great support you guys have given me on the first episode. That is so insane. I'm really sorry this video took so long to make. Obviously, a lot of work has gone into it. Not only has there been about 10 to 14 hours of just recording for this video alone, but there's also been about 6 to 8 hours on the actual editing side. The next episode, though, we will be coming back to this main street right here. We'll be getting some more of these buildings in. And on top of that, the day after this video comes out, on these times that's showing up on the screen right now, I'm going to be live building tons more rocks, because as you can see right here, we still have literally hours and hours more rocks to place in. So if you don't want to miss the next episode of Clearside Valley, and you also don't want to miss that live stream, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much to all the members who are popping up on the screen right now. I really do appreciate all your guys' support. It means the world to me. And if you do become a member by clicking that join button down below, of course, you get your own brick in Clearside Valley. Don't worry if your name's not there, by the way. I'll be updating it in the stream tomorrow. And other than that, guys, make sure to check the stream out where I'm building the rocks right here. That's popping up on screen. And well, guys, I hope to see you in this stream right here, or well, in one of my other videos. See you then.